Turn to the book of Isaiah 39, and I want to pull out one verse, and that verse is verse 7. Isaiah 39, and verse 7. Here beginneth the reading of God's holy word. And of thy sons that shall issue from thee, which thou shalt beget, shall they take away, and they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. Ooh, the word of the Lord for the people of God. You can take your seats. Well, we are yet on the year theme, Kingdom Settled. We are in this very interesting sermon series entitled The Universe of the Eunuchs. The sermon topic for today is watch who you let in your house. Watch who you let in your house. Oh boy, here we go. Thursday gone, I woke up, praise God. I was glad to wake up, amen. Sore throat was gone, but nerves running and eyes still burning. No worries, with the sore throat no longer an issue, I felt better. I was thinking on the sermon, and therefore, before I left, I took a picture of the title so that I might meditate on it as I drove to Mom. Now, before I left the house, I received a message from a friend who tells me that they sell weed at Clarendon Pharmacy and that it is more than the amount that is allowed for personal use. So, of course, I accused her of trying to set me off and that she must be lying. She laughs and tells me exactly where it is. Then I communicate with a few persons. You know, Pastor now got a something. I cannot believe this. Eventually, I speak to one person who must have mentioned it to another person, and she comes back to me that they sell the weed without the TCH in it. Oh, THC. See how good I am at it? Put that in the racket for the courts. THC, and I'm going to hear it. THC. All right, all right. Thank you for correcting me. I'm not a professional in weed. Now, they're laughing, but some pastors are. Carry on, Seaman. Some want it, leave it, Seaman. Keep focus. Yeah. So they sell it without the THC in it. Now, let's talk about the THC. THC, or tetrahydrocannabinol, is the major psychoactive component and one of the 113 cannabinoids recognized in cannabis. That's from the National Library of Medicine. THC is the main, this is another website, is the main psychoactive compound in marijuana. So they're selling weed, but not with the THC. Now, the THC is what makes people feel high. So say it another way, Seaman. They're selling highless weed. Say it another way, Seaman. They're selling low weed. Just trying to, low grade. Okay, all right. I continue reading from the internet. We have two types of cannabinoid receptors in our bodies. THC binds with receptors, mostly in the brain, that control pain. Pause there, Seaman. So when you're having pain because you can't pay the bills and you're trying to tell your weed head relative you need their money, they ain't feeling the pain you're feeling. Take it easy. They want you to take it easy. Take it easy. Probably offer you, look, you need what I'm got. I'm just. So they control, this binds to a place in the brain, controls pain, mood, and other feelings. That's why THC can make you feel euphoric and give you that so-called high. Now, some side effects. THC can cause problems with concentration. Probably can't keep jobs long in the reading. Dizziness, vomiting, drowsiness, balance, memory loss. Oh, I just forgot. Take it easy. Well, you see him. Church, for the life of me, I cannot understand how we can, on one hand, have a battle on our hands against drug use, and then on the other hand, not only decriminalize marijuana, but now sell the very base of this very drug in a pharmacy. Now, you and I, we're not going to play this game. See, you know, Seaman don't play. If one pharmacy is selling it and they begin to make money, guess what's going to happen? All right, I don't like, that's why my circle's very small. I ain't got time for the nonsense. If the government allows it and that pharmacist is making money, well, what stops us from making money? I put it to you that the lust or love of money is the root of all evil. Love is not love. You see, here is the thing. While the pharmacy sells the weed without THC, you can easily, this match is going to be long because I'm going to have moments of just stopping. You can easily make the THC at home right in your kitchen. While at mom's house on Thursday morning, no, I did not make the THC. After learning that it was weed being served without the THC, I quickly Googled how to make THC at home. Folks, it was very, very easy. And you all have the ingredients in your house right now. Well, except the weed, but the pharmacist got the weed for you. You think warfare ain't real? So in essence, we are now selling the stuff that is harder to get your hands on legally, while you can make the easy part at home. So you know, Seaman, I went and got me some weed. I couldn't believe it. I put my GoPro on. I've got footage, just in case I end up in jail. I've got footage. I'm opening it up the first time here. Weed, folks. Oh, see, I didn't even know if I needed scissors. No, I think I don't even need scissors right there. Easy, open it up. See me, you're so dumb. You need to know. Easy, see me, easy. Oh, look, it comes rolled and stuff. Open it back for me. Let me incriminate you. Come on. Oh my Lord. Good thing I ain't got long nails. I smelled it. No, it is not nice. No, I'm smelling it. Well, let me say ahead of the game, after church, this is what we're burning outside, right? I could not believe it. Folks, beyond the humor, we've got to understand. You know, and then they had different flavors, y'all. You can get strawberry shortcake, cookies and cream, mimosa, I think that's the one I got, pineapple. I didn't see it at that pharmacy. It's another place that you know of. What else we got? Skittles. Yeah. Oh, pride's coming up in the sermon. It's coming up. But this is not what we can get rolled up, yo. You saw it's rolled up. And I put it to you, and listen, I want to speak this. Some children, don't be foolish. Just like they can get to your cigarettes, your alcohol, whatever, they're going to get to this. And we're going to make it more and more difficult for our children to learn while others come in and take over our land. We just won't get it. Government made it easy. Same government that made Balco Bill okay. Don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself. Hear me with this. Be careful of what you let into your house. It may seem harmless, and yet by the time you make something for personal use or street use, you will injure yourself, your family, the community, and the island. And of course, I thought about it. If you can get a greater amount at the pharmacy, by the time you add the THC, split it up, you're going to sell it for more profit. Come on, this cannot be the first time somebody's hearing this. Be careful of what you let into your house. There are a percentage of people that are depending on keeping you enslaved and easily put the blame on you. I didn't make you go to the pharmacy. You didn't have to get it. I mean, I didn't even know where it was. The woman told me where to get it, but because I don't know the pharmacy that well. You know, everything to me is like an outing. So I went down the aisle. All I said to her was, you guys sell weed? She said, oh, yeah. And she took me right to the counter. And I saw it right there. But I had to let the girl, I had told the one who took my credit card, I said, listen, my name is Pastor Maria Seaman. Watch on TV on Sunday, watch it live. I will be using this. Because I know how Bermudas, they probably already got my name. Pastor Seaman? A real head? Not Seaman. We got her. That's why I took video footage. No. My personal CCTV always working. Digicel ain't putting it on for me. Come on, somebody. All right, what else? Be careful of what you let in your house. There are a people who want to keep you enslaved, put the blame on you, while it is they who raise the plantation crop in the pharmacy. See, the plantation don't have to look like what it did in the 1930s. Be careful of what you let in your house. While you play and party, they continue to plan your demise while their pockets become lined with more profits. So just like I say, I ain't giving guzzlers my money, I ain't giving these pharmacies. I'm saying these because it's going to be more. Some of them be hearing their own discernment. Say, yeah, they are. Because just like certain pharmacists 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, they would never sell things outside of Christianity. Now you got Buddha, you got this person. You know why? Money. And we have people come in who have strange gods. You don't want to train your children? All right, they're going to train them. Be careful of what you let in your house. What you see as a gift today is truly a trap in a Trojan horse that will tear your life apart. What can be harmlessly and easily brought from a respectable place will turn your home, your space, into a reckless place. Church, you must protect your home. Do not allow anything and everything to pass by the entrance of your home. Take authority over that which desires to take authority over you. I still can't. Used to be that you used to go to the gas station and buy it begins for R, the Rizzler, where they had to make. Now you get it all neat, pre-made. What flavor you want? What flavor you want? And we don't understand they're trying to trap us. They're trying to take out our youth. Join me today as we watch what happens when you allow the wrong spirit to enter into your home as I cover the following 3 points. Point number 1, the gift got you. Victim. The gift got you. Victim. Point number 2, the glory. Great you. Vainglory. The glory. Great you. Vainglory. Then point number 3, the guide. Grievous you. Void. The guide. Grievous you. Void. Let's deal with the point number 1. The gift got you. Victim. A bit about Hezekiah before we get right into the sermon. Hezekiah, King Hezekiah, he was the 13th king of Israel. He began his reign at age 27. His father was wicked King Ahaz. And it is a wonder that he was a good king considering how evil his father was. Now, King Hezekiah, he reigned for 29 years. First order on his plate when he became king was to open up God's house, throw down all those false idols. Yes. King Hezekiah is considered one of the 3 best kings of Israel, along with King David and King Joash. It is said of Hezekiah that he kept all the commandments. Yet let me say something here. You can keep all the commandments and not be kept by keeping them. See, I did it all. No, but it's your heart, Okay. You can still miss it. King Hezekiah was known for praying to God for all things. Hence, when King Sennacherib sent his army to fight against the small army of Israel. Can I say that just repeats? Yeah. What we see going on today, Israel is not like, oh my, we're surprised. It's always small Israel. You know why? Because God always has to come through and say, it weren't you. It weren't your might. It weren't your power. It is because you are my covenant people. I'm going to come through. God brought about a miraculous victory. God sent one angel to confuse the enemy, and Israel was victorious. All God got to do is send one angel. It weren't even Michael, just one angel. Let's go back there at verse 1. It reads, and here beginneth God's word throughout. At the time of Merodach-Baladan, the son of Baladan, king of Babylon, sent letters and a present to Hezekiah, for he had heard that he had been sick and was recovered. Now, church, who is the subject of this verse? You got it. Merodach-Baladan. All right? Should remind you of Bin Laden. Okay, all the same types. Okay? Merodach-Baladan means Murdoch has given a son. Okay? Marduk is a god. So right here, this king who's going to send him gifts and ladders is a worshiper of this false god. Now, Marduk in Mesopotamian religion, the chief god of the city of Babylon, and the national god of Babylonia. As such, he was eventually simply called Baal, or Lord. This means that the king who is about to communicate or commune with King Hezekiah, king of Judah, is a Baal worshiper. Be careful when your enemies congratulate you. Merodach Baladan is the king of Babylon. Babylon means confusion, mixing. Stay with me, church. Babylon means confusion by mixing. Church, there is a picture that I want you to get here. I want you to get it. That the king over God's people is in some sort of relationship with a king of Babylon, king of confusion. Church, this relationship cannot be reproductive in God's eyes. It is this relationship that should be a picture of a eunuch. Slow it down, see me. King of Babylon, king of Israel. Shouldn't be any reproduction here. This shouldn't be a eunuch. It should be, y'all. That's what it should be. I'm going to help somebody. There should be no intimacy between these two kings. If you don't worship my God, my God who is a God of order, he showed it in the beginning. Your God, king of confusion, why am I joining you? A king of confusion has access to your house. How did they get the key to your house? How are you joining a king who doesn't worship like you? What he bringing into your house? What spirit is he bringing into your house? Oh, because he's bringing you gifts. Those gifts are going to come with a price. Watch who you give the key to your house. Permission to enter. Permission to occupy. Permission to rest your head. Sit down on the couch. Sit at my kitchen table. Let's have a meal together. Oh, I'm just celebrating that you have recovered. Nothing seems wrong. Yet I'm telling you, they don't worship like you worship. And if you're intimate with God, you cannot be intimate with one who doesn't worship your God. Key. You give away keys. You do know there's been these relationships these days. Get together. When the female gives him the key, ain't no security no more. Ain't no security. No boundaries. No protection. You gave him open access. And don't think we're fools. That access don't stop at a door and a meal. Church, as a child of God with kingdom standards, you must be focus. Pay attention. Who have you led into your house? Who has the key to your place? Who has the key to your heart? You cannot be productive with God and with one who is of a Babylonian spirit. That's why you could talk to some of these women. They became Christians after they got married. Years afterwards, now it's taking them decades for their husbands to come in. Some of them fighting now, meaning not physically, but that battle. I want them to come in, Pastor. I want them to come in. It would be so nice. Yeah. But you're in it now. So you have to hang tight to the tight hangs. And you have to exercise your faith. You're going to cry sometimes. You're going to wish you had done it another way. But guess what? You get to be the examples for the ones who haven't been that silly to do that yet. Why are you going to enter into a relationship of confusion? God does not approve of. Don't you try to negotiate with God and have him to change his mind. He ain't changed his mind about Israel. We want him to change his mind about our little situation. God does not approve of his kingdom or his kingdom people being unequally yoked. It's confusion. Exodus 34:15, NIV. Be careful not to make a treaty with those who live in the land, for when they prostitute themselves to their gods and sacrifice to them, they will invite you and you will eat their sacrifices. They won't come to worship with you, but you're going to go party with them. You're going to go to lunch with them. Who's winning? You got to beg them to come to church. They ain't got to beg you to go out to lunch. And this is God. This is his standard. This is his plumb line. Don't tell me because it worked out with somebody else. That's a lot of grace. A lot of grace. And that ain't no norm. Don't do that, dummy. Don't do it. 1 Kings 11:2. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, you shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. Even Solomon, ace boy, with all the wisdom in the world, what is it that could take him away from his own wisdom? Unequally yoked. 2 Corinthians 6:14-17. Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. No, but they believe in God. Don't try to bluff me. Don't bluff. Everybody down the street, everybody believes in God. All right? If you ask the Iranians, they believe in God too. People trying to tell me we're all worshiping the same God. No, we're not. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion has light with darkness? And what concord hath Christ with Belial? Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel? And what agreement hath the temple of God with idols? For ye are the temple of the living God. And God has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they will be my people. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. Church has gotten away from this. We've gotten away from telling the young girls, don't have sex. It's okay to be a virgin when you get married. That's what you should be. But we just moved away. God does not want his kingdom people producing with those of a Babylonian kingdom. Yet, here we have a Babylonian king who has access to King Hezekiah. Church, this cannot end well. It cannot end well. God will not negotiate with that which is outside of who he is. Point number 2, the glory. Great you, vain glory. Verse 2, and Hezekiah was glad of them, so glad, and showed them the house of his precious things, the silver and the gold and the spices and the precious ointment, and all the house of his armor, and all that was found in his treasures. There was nothing in his house, nor in all his dominion, that Hezekiah showed them not. The aim of the enemy is to make entrance into your private place and inspect the place and infect the place. With your permission. With your permission. There is a real valid reason why God's standard is to not mix with those who do not have your heart towards him. That person will turn you away from God. I promise you, every woman here married to a man who is not yet in the kingdom got a struggle going on at some point. I promise you. I don't see it the opposite way in her, so that's what I'm going to speak to. That person, it's a change. And the aim of the enemy is always to pull you away from God. Before you know it, what you used to love about God begins to change. Let me put it in context for today. How you used to take joy in coming to church changes. Once you give them the key, let them come in, inspect your place. You got a nice place. Got a nice place, sir. How long you been here? You got this place. Okay. How you used to love to serve, tired and old, changes. I don't know if I want to do that anymore. I'm tired. I need a break. Changes. Right? Because it's the confusion. It's the Babylonian spirit. The enemy always knows when you're thirsty. Always knows when you're pining for something. How you used to desire to grow and bring others into the kingdom changes. How you going to bring others into the kingdom and you can't bring him into the kingdom? It's a struggle. And this sermon is a harsh reality for married women who are married to a man who's unsaved. And it's a harsh warning for those who are pining to get married. Pining. You better pine for God. You better. See, man, that ain't it. You need God. Okay, I'm been in 38 years. You need God. Okay. Listen to me. When leaven enters your home, it will not leave until it begins its work. And even when the leaven leaves your house, what it leaves behind continues to work in your house. Being unequally yoked, being yoked with those who do not worship as you do changes you. You got to dumb it down. You can't be the former worshiper you used to be because you've given away your key. You've opened up your entrance. Wide open. And it's really the heart, you know. Yet here we have King Hezekiah. He is happy. Yeah. Are you happy? He is happy to have another king send him. Because no, girl, I got me a man too. I'm happy. What do you mean? I'm tired of seeing everybody else get engaged and get married. I got me a man. Nah. Happy. King Hezekiah is happy to have another king send him gifts. And this shift in his sensibility result in him allowing not only the enemy to enter the house, but to see all that he has. The enemy must get entrance into your house because up until this point, only God's Spirit was in your life. But there became a weakness. Usually it's when you see others. It's the Eve thing. Nothing changes from the beginning. She had everything. She had the only man. Nobody could steal him. Had the Garden of Eden. God communing with him. What more could you want? Well, nothing until somebody told me I didn't have something. When you begin to, that's being thirsty. When you begin to get that way, you will open up your treasures. Well, I'm got this. You ain't got it? You can borrow mine. Because I'm got this. Yes, I worked hard. I'm got this. Don't fool yourself. There's a small box, but you don't want to know what's in it. I'm got it. I earned all this. I earned all this. I'm going somewhere, you know. I earned all this. I earned all this. This is me. I'm going to do me. So if you're coming in here, you see what I'm got? Of course he sees what you got. And the God going to get gotten. Because now he sees what you have and what he don't have. Oh, just thought of something. He ain't got a car. You got a car? What can you help him with? See, make it plain, Seaman. I believe God can do anything, but I think you got to do it in right order. You're already starting wrong if you're entering into a space to see. And you allow someone into your space and they just see. They see. Because what they're doing is reading you. Reading where you're vulnerable. She said, which church she goes? Shekinah? That's all right. I'm down her house. Seaman know that. I got more pool than Seaman. I guess you do. When you allow them to enter and you say, yes, I'm got this, I'm got that. This is what King Hezekiah did. He shows them everything that's precious. When you show somebody what's precious to you, and their aim is to be precious to you, then what used to be precious to you has to take a back seat. Yay. Some confusion taking place here. Hezekiah shows him the things that are precious. The enemy always will be after you to see what's precious to you. Whatever you think is precious, that's what the enemy is coming after. That's what he does, superintendent. In my life and everybody's life, it's what he does. What makes you weep? What makes you cry? What makes you overthink? The enemy comes after that. Well, how he knew that? Because you shared it. He can't reach your heart. That's why some things I just don't say. Because they say, if I say it, he can't use it. But, some things we can't help. We say it. This word precious, coming from the Hebrew word nekoth, that's the spicery, in general, valuables. You have to remember, they didn't have the dollar bill back then. They read and they exchanged by what they produced, spicery. When we went to, what we call it, Qatar? What? That must be best. What's the red stuff we got that we can make rice red? What? Saffron. Well, her, you have to sell your child to get a bit of it. In Qatar, they had lots of it. When I got home, I said, I should have got more. These spices in that store. Now, mind you, I did see a roach. Remember we saw a roach? I saw a roach. I tapped out of that store. I said, well, that's enough spices for me. There weren't enough spices in the world to keep me when I saw a roach. I said, yeah, I'm out of here. But the store, largest this room, full of spices. Oh, my God. The value is in what you can grow. Say it again, Seaman. Say it again, Seaman. The value is in what you can grow. Elder Rogers, you grow wonderful praise and worship and smile. Nobody can do that like you. So that's what's valuable in you. So the enemy, when he comes after you, is to quiet down your praise, quiet down your whatever it is that you do. As a pastor, when people are on the way out, whatever they used to do, they start to back off. They don't do it no more. They held you hostage in church. That's not about me. It's about the enemy trying to remove you from the presence of God by causing that which is valuable to you to now be nullified. That's why you've got to know who you are in worship. Know who you are when you come to the house. Don't let nobody shut you up, shut you down, shut you out. You know who you are. Come in church. Open up your mouth. Give God praise. Glorify God in everything you do. Never let the enemy come into this house and shut you down. Never let the enemy come into this house and remove what's precious to you. It's precious and I'll keep it. I'll keep my praise. I'll keep my worship. I'll keep my dance. I'll keep my glory. Hallelujah. I'll keep my magnifying God. Whatever is precious to you, the enemy is coming after it to bring confusion in your life. See, because when you're going through, when I'm going through, you know what I will do? I go to the rock. I know he's able. You go back and you reach for the thing that is precious to you. Oh my God. And this is what the enemy is after. When he comes into your house, he only wants to identify what is he or what is she? What are they close to? What's precious? I need to remove them. I need to put distance. And you'll never see it coming. That which makes you who you are, you expose to an ungodly person. But you have so much in common. You are both kings. King Hezekiah and the king of Babylon. You both know royalty. Look at this foolishness. You both appreciate royal things. Why are you accepting a gift from somebody you know that's coming off your neck? You both know the value of money. All of that, and yet God's standard is that you do not worship him the same. See, that's the difference. That's why I've been saying, don't tell me I ain't praying with no Muslim. I'm praying with none of these false religions. And no, we do not serve the same God. You wonder why he said about the Berkeley Institute, look at Israel today. They got rid of semen, but you see what's happening over there? Confusion. Let me keep it with Hezekiah. So when God's standard is upon you, you don't join with someone who doesn't worship the same as you do. Listen to me. It was God then and God today. He's the same. They will remove you from where you're used to be with God. God is very particular about who you reproduce with. You just bring up, here God, 2 legs and a thing between them. Here we go. No. Foolishness. Church, I say again, listen to me, that what is happening with Hezekiah is not what God wants to reproduce. The only way a church can grow is through reproduction. But if the people are not focused, what are they reproducing? This is why I said earlier, you can keep all the commandments and yet still miss the commandments keeping your heart towards God in all matters. It looks like you're doing the right thing. Outwardly, people say, oh, Hezekiah, yeah. And Hezekiah was sick unto death, and he prayed to God, and look at that, God raised him up. And here he is with king confusion. It matters who you let in your house, there will be reproduction. I'm going to know who came in. Point number 3. The guide, grievous you, void. 3 and 4. Then came Isaiah the prophet unto King Hezekiah and said unto him, what said these men? And from whence came they unto thee? And Hezekiah said, they are come from a far country unto me, even from Babylon. Then said he, okay, I can see him probably, he probably had a little breather right there. This fool's let them people from Babylon. All right, I'll keep on asking. What have they seen in thine house? Hezekiah answered, all that is in mine house have they seen. There is nothing among my treasures that I have not showed them. Show off. Show off. Come on. Yes, this is where it is, right here. This is pride. Pride lifts you up so high, you don't even know that you're using pride. You can get so caught up in what you have that you don't even know that you have been caught out. The inner sanctum of what God allowed you to have, you have opened up to a person who does not worship as you worship. I'm 15 years old. Two good-looking guys. I'm just a teen. I'm 15. Both of them Indian looking. My type. Good looking, good hair. I don't care what you say. It's my type. You can have what you want. Both of them born. Listen to me. Did I say both? Both of them born August 17th, 1962. Both. The same birthday. I couldn't even say, God, show me the birthday. He would have shown me the birthday. They both got the same birthday. Both of them adored me. Of course. My mama liked them both. How did I choose? The first one, he was working. He used to come pick me up after school. That's when he had Piggly Wiggly. We walking. Hey, it was a beginning. Some of your people ain't got Piggly Wiggly right now. Anyway. How am I going to decide? 15. Who? Which one? I'm breaking somebody's heart. And this is very risky for me because whoever I choose, that's the person for life. What was the difference? Church worship. Now, mind you, one was a member of the church and the other one joined the church. What? This is becoming more difficult. But I watched their worship. And that's where I saw the difference. I saw one was more sincere. And then the great test is always when you break up with him, what he does. Leave the church. I got the right one. Hence, we've been married 38 years, been together 43 years. I'm 58. Some of you ought to clap. Keep this church, saves this church tens of thousands of dollars a year doing plumbing and the rest of it. What's the difference then? This is what I'm trying to give to the young people. They hear me. I don't care what they do. They hear this conversation. Everybody. What is their worship like? If they cannot worship your God at a minimum like you do, you have been invaded by 11 that's going to take you out. The inner sanctum, what have you opened up your life to? If they don't worship like you, you're done. I'm got church tonight. I'm got something. You gotta go again. You ain't gotta go. You ever heard that experience, elder? Just, You know, why don't we ask other people that are experiencing it? Trying to help you? Give your money to. What got bills? Who you giving your money to? Had no problem tithing all this time. Now all of a sudden my elder, I'm pretending. You know that. Because you wouldn't be an elder. All of a sudden my elder, well, you know, this month, I don't know. Never had this before the marriage. I don't know. I can't say nothing, right? That's why I'm saying for everybody listening on Facebook, watching on Swim TV, I'm trying to help some of our younger women. Sometimes I see pictures come up, I say, she's been with that boy for 8 years, they ain't engaged, and they've been to all these weddings. I would have been caught a trail. I made my decisions early. 15, choose me now. Now, he did dump me twice, but he found his right mind. And let me get into that. I know he hears that over in the corner. I never dumped him. Let the record state. Because when I make up my mind, I make up my mind. That's why people don't be bothered with me. That's just the way I'm wired. I'm Frenchy, that's the way I am. I don't know which parent I'm like, but that's it. Well, actually, like both of them. Anyway, back, look. The reproduction, the union, the commonality, we can get alongness here is not of God. I don't care. No, but we're a perfect match. How are you a perfect match? You can't worship the sin. You got king of Babylon, and you're the king over Israel. What? Today proves Ishmael and Isaac, they ain't never going to get along. And they had the literal same father, Abraham. What was Abraham, schizophrenic? Why you two fighting? Because one should have never been, that's why. Come on, I better stay. Come on, one should have never have been, should have trusted God. That's what I'm going to encourage you. You trust God. And if God says, well, you know what, you're just not going to be married. No worries, be a happy single person. Because some of us who are married say it was a lot more peace before we got married. I'm telling you the truth. You're going to have marriage. You better come talk to your pastor. First of all, anyway, get back on the... back. Yeah. If you do not, these two kings, if you do not stand apart, your stand for God will be torn apart. 5 and 6, it reads, then said Isaiah to Hezekiah, hear the word of the Lord of hosts. Behold, the day is come that all that is in thine house and that which thy fathers have laid up in store until this day. So not only what you had, but your testimony. All that came, all that you inherited, that you were able to use, all that shall be carried into Babylon. Okay. Nothing shall be left. There you go. No church position, no church membership, no church nothing. Why? Because you just had to give them the key and show them all your boxes. Nothing shall be left, saith the Lord. The word of God, hear me, the word of God by the prophet Isaiah lets Hezekiah know that his choices have yielded consequences. Yes, to this point in your life, you have done some good things, some great things. However, this will never give you the right to do your own thing. Church, sanctification is a matter of continuing to do the right thing. You will never complete sanctification on this side of eternity called life. Sanctification, be sanctified, be separate, be apart, be different. How did they get to you in the first? Don't mix, don't mingle, don't make peace with, don't become mutual friends with. No. Just say no. I'm going to start the campaign up again. Just say no. Why not? Verse 7. Why not? Verse 7. Why not? Verse 7. Look at it. And of thy sons that shall issue from thee, which thou shalt beget, shall they take away, and they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. Hear me now. Follow. Now, Hezekiah, at this point, had no children. He had no seed. He hadn't even married. He was single. Had gotten sick. It was his time to die, but he begged God. God said, I'm going to give you the 15 years. But he's also stipulated, you're going to have thou shalt. This is the deal. You're going to have seed. You're going to have seed. Issue, right? Because you reproduce with idolaters, that which issues from you will never be able to issue. Hold on. Remember, Hezekiah's going and got the I spirit. I did this. I. See what I have? You open up your home to an idolater, so that means that which now comes from you is covered by another spirit. So what we do today, who we open up our homes to, places at risk the seed that comes after us. That's why we got grandmas in church, but not grandchildren. Overall. Because the daughter opened up her life to a person who doesn't worship like the mother did. So now they see it. I ain't got to come church. Why I got to come church? The eunuchs. They're not reproducing in the kingdom as kingdom children. Okay, all right. So, at this point, Hezekiah had no seed. He begged God for life. God gave him life with the understanding that Hezekiah would marry and reproduce. God's going to teach you a lesson. You want to live? All right, here's the deal. You see, up to this point, Hezekiah was a male with no issue, and he had no issue having no issue. That's an issue, folks. Say it again. Up to this point, Hezekiah was a male with no issue, and he had no issue having no issue. This is a big issue with God. Why? Because God believes in reproduction. Now, you may not be married yet, but you sure enough want to get married and have seed. I know you do, because you wouldn't be my musician if you weren't. Because I'll be wondering, what kind of musician are you? Y'all male and don't want to have seed? I'm very serious. Got all these musicians in Bermuda. Take a percentage-wise, how many are married? You think? And sometimes they just marry, but anyway, doesn't say that, so you move on. God believes in reproduction, yet a wealthy king, Hezekiah, was so lifted up in what he had and so enjoyed showing his stuff, he forgot who enabled him to have his stuff. Because when you know that God gave it to you, here it is, here's the point. When you know that God gave you your stuff, you don't show your stuff to a confused king, the king of Babylon. You say, this is holy. This is set apart. God gave it to me. You can't come in here. When one forgets God and forgets to put God first, they have just been lifted up in pride. Hear me with this statement. God will never approve of pride reproducing. He will never approve. That's why pride don't reproduce anyway. Come on, you got it? You got it? God will never approve of pride reproducing. They have to borrow from, okay, never mind. In God's eye, pride ought never reproduce. And so even though King Hezekiah had done great things, God is looking at the latest thing, which is a reflection of his heart. You think God wanted King of Babylon to come in and scout out his property? If the enemy is coming into your home, it's to take you out. Hence we have this, I want to read it again, verse 7, and of thy sons that shall issue from thee, which thou shalt beget, shall they take away. And they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon, the very one who spied you out. Now, you're all right, God, don't worry about your pastor. She know what you're saying. You're dumb. They know that you got something different here. You got something special in God's presence. And they would rather that you join them in what they don't have. You better hold on to God. Hold on to God. Here we have God showing once again his disapproval with the state of being a eunuch. It was still in the old covenant. He will not approve of a eunuch. He'll use them when he has to, but he's showing, you were able to, I let you reproduce, but let me show you what you're going to reproduce. You're going to reproduce the disgusting person I see who you are now. God disapproves of the pride of Hezekiah and will render a verdict. 1, Hezekiah, I will give you 15 years of life. 2, Hezekiah, I will give you male seed. 3, Hezekiah, that which comes from you will reflect your current state. Holy Ghost. Holy Spirit just said, the enemy spirit, when he captures you, he conforms you so that what you do following that is with the approval of that enemy spirit. It's a capture. Hezekiah, with all that you have, because you are not in right relationship with God, you will have seed who have nothing. Who have nothing. We have to stop looking at the teenagers and being vexed and whatever at them and say, okay, what did their parents give them? Did their parents give them Babylon or God's house? If you did not give them God's house, you gave them Babylon. My mama took me to church every day. I was in church. No, they're not in church. Look at what we have. Read. And what? You the enemy spirit? What are you going to give you more? Legal weed. Decriminalize it, because we don't want our sons, because the reason they couldn't go away to college, they had just had an ounce of marijuana, and the name got put on the stop list. Well, they don't need to be put on no stop list now. They don't need to go away to school. They're going to go get high right in your house. You're saying high and they are high. Hezekiah, you have all the money in the world, but your seed will have the money portfolio of a eunuch. Hezekiah got all the money in the world, but because of your heart, your seed, in this atmosphere, this spirit, they will have the portfolio of a eunuch. They will be a eunuch. Nothing. They will be stripped of manhood, stripped of money, and stripped of manifestation. Why? Because you gave the enemy. He didn't even have to rape you. You just gave him the key to your heart. No! Yes, this is where I stay. Yes. Fathers, depending on how you live, that is how your seed will show. Your seed will reap what you have sown, what you sow. If you sow the seed of pride, you will reap a eunuch harvest, poverty. How could you grow up in God's house? Well, you said in the beginning, Maria, they can grow up in church, but it doesn't mean church is really who they are. When you really get who God is, why would we let go of God? What kind of madness is that? Leave the church. Leave what? What? Poverty of worship. Poverty of relationship with God. Poverty of your seed inheriting the kingdom of heaven. We want our children, we want our children to come into the kingdom. Do they see the kingdom when they look at you? Fathers, if you look towards the things that you have and not towards God, you will have the things but lose God for you and for your children. See, the decision you make today, Hezekiah, it's not even about you today, Hezekiah. You haven't even met the woman you're going to marry. You don't even have seed yet. And I'm telling you that based on who you are today, that's going to be your outcome. Why? Because even after God, he could have turned back to God. He could have said, Isaiah, listen, I realized I messed up. I let the king of Babylon in my house. I let him see all of my wealth. I need to turn my plate down. I need to sit in sackcloth and ashes and beg God. But he didn't. He didn't. You know why? Money's good. Money is the greatest drug there is. Money will cause you to make drugs to give to people to ruin their lives, but that's all right because you're making money. That's why it's the love of money that is the root of all evil. You love money more than worshiping God. Okay, all right, I'm going to stop people. If you look towards what you have and what you want, you will have relinquished the future that you should have had with God for you and for your seed. Make sure you live a life that is inexcusable if your seed go crazy. That's the point. You live right. Keep it tight. Don't choose to be a eunuch. Don't choose for your generation and your next generation to be eunuchs. How are they going to be empowered? How? and we do this and it's right, we say, well, the grandchildren are coming. Because we can't capture the children to come to church. Because they're adults, they're big, they're of age. But notice that the children, when they become 12 and 13, I repeat it, they're going to have to choose between mama and nana. They're choosing mama. And if mama ain't going to church, neither are they. Don't give these people choices. How do you know when you have chosen a eunuch life? You want what you want. I'm preaching this thing plain. Some people just walk out. Some people listening, looking at it online. They understand everything I'm saying. And they're going to go have their lunch and go right back be with that person who is not a person of God, who doesn't have the same worship level, who can't lead their family in prayer. You permit others to see what you have when they do not see God as you do. Everything is about God. You do you. I'm just going to do me. Pride. And you know all the scripture, you know pride goes before destruction. But no, you're going to work it out. No. Because I know this can work out. Church, I know it's a modern thing, but until you give yourself away to belong to God, you will not be blessed by God. You may have things, but sadly the truth is that those things have you. Like Hezekiah, it can look like God. I'm a king, you're a king. You got a palace, I got a palace. You got servants, I got servants. You got stuff, check out my stuff. It can look like God has blessed you, and yet God will remove his hand, watch this, from your issue. God gave him the 15 years. He is so much into, pay attention, church, he is so much into his stuff. He'll take whatever, just give me more life. Give me more life. What? This is the sweet life. Living my life like it's golden. I don't want to die now. Talk, discussion. When God says you're on your way out, you can't. But God says, lesson. All right, I will give you that time. But look at what the time's going to do to you. Y'all worrying about these stuff. Wait a minute. Watch this. So Hezekiah, choose wisely who you let into your house. The saddest verse of all, verse 8. Look at it. This is the clincher for me. Then said Hezekiah to Isaiah, God is the word of the Lord which thou hast spoken. He said, moreover, for there shall be peace and truth in my days. I don't care what happens with my children. I'm good. I don't care what happens with them. You're selfish because of I. Anytime you choose somebody or something over God and his purpose and his standard, you just did a verse 8. I'm good. God will bless me. You know, mama can tell you, don't do it. Reconsider. No. You know what you're saying. You're too old. All good. But then look at the seed. Look at the seed after that. Are they in the kingdom? No, it's a great struggle. He didn't even care. He was just doing his thing. Live and let live. As long as I got what I need, plenty or whatever. Plenty food, plenty clothes. Got his place. A sanctified king has become a selfish king. A picture of our world today. Let me tell you something. I'm going to speak. Yeah, you ain't got no grandchildren. Well, no, I don't. But I don't have to have them not to be able to speak this word to your spirit. I'm going to say it again. I've said it before. We've got to get to everything with my DNA is coming out of that house on Sunday with me, unless they're overage and out of school. As long as they are underage, they don't have the high school leaving certificate yet. I don't care what my child says. Excuse me, you're in my house? We go get another one. See, but we don't want to do that because we're too nice. But I'm not that nice. I'd rather you hate me now, save the generation to come. No, we are not negotiating. We got to get back there, church. The reason that this church and many churches struggle, one week we got children, next week we're not, is because of the issues seen. And we hook up with people, they think a different way. And we in the modern church, watch this, begin to look like eunuchs. A lack of reproduction. And guess what? We do verse 8. We just remain happy about it. I'm never happy about it. So church, Shekinah Worship Center. It's less about what we have and more about what has us. Let's take a look in our own homes. I've been through what I've been through. I remember one Sunday morning, one of my seed wouldn't act up. I told Elder Senior, you better go tell the church the pastor will not be in today. And one of them can come up with a message. I don't leave this house without my seed. You see? Well, we did preach that Sunday morning. We'll just leave it there. Because it's serious. The enemy comes after your heart. And we love him so much, we ease back. No, you got to love him enough to say, hate me, don't like me. They'll like you Christmas because they want a gift. They'll like you on a holiday when they got to go away because they want some money. Oh, they will. Put your foot down. Listen, the enemy spirit don't mind Bermudians having things. They don't want the seed and the next generation after that seed to be in God's house. I challenge you, and the cameras are just on me anyway. Hezekiah had a beautiful relationship with God, knew how to pray to God, but he cared more about his salvation, his place, his stuff. His son. Didn't care. We've got to care enough to drag them to church. That's right. It's quiet in this place today. I need that. I need it. Because we all have to ponder. And I'm the type of person, I've been telling my children since they could understand sentences. Don't you bring a child in my house with my last name. Now, so far, so good. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm just saying so far, so good. In other words, he loves you that much. And they wouldn't put that man's last name on that child. No, you earn it. What, all the children are going to have your last name, but the woman that had the children for you got to keep her former name? You just got punked. Not me. That's what happens, you know. We reward them. What? That don't make no sense to me. So the children have got his last name. Y'all still got your former name, like you're in some type of slavery. What? Because we give away our gifts. And we give them into the possession of a foreign confusion. So now it's become a fashion. It's become fashion. So now at funerals, you see 1,800 children. And everybody gets special mention. Ain't no shame in the game now. Holy smoke, boy, only 20 miles. Well, I guess he went one across the bridge, then across the other bridge, and try to keep them separate. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a globe trotter, just be an island trotter. Just. But I'm telling you, it's confusion. I've seen some doozies. Why? Because we dropped the standard. And that's what I'm speaking to. If we're going to be in relationships, get married, this ain't you already being married, coming into the kingdom. This is you're in the kingdom. Now you got to choose. We have some choices to make. Why? Because it matters with the children. Grandparents, pray in your strength. Because not everybody's, not everybody's Diane's daughter, so I'm going to put it that way. They're going to get a look. Yeah? What did you say? Say it again. Okay, hold on, because I need this cough. I had cold stuff plugged up my ears. Hold on. All right. Okay, say that one more time. By that time, they would have got it. By that time, they would have got it. And they'll have to shout, you know. It's how you train them in the beginning. It's just a look. Now, I ain't saying mine's all perfect. I ain't never said that. You ain't heard Maria Simmons say that. It's done, of course, lost their mind a few times here and there. But I kept mine. Somebody got to keep their mind. Play something, directly you better play something sweet. Something that speaks of, I'm catching myself off of that sermon. Something that's like that.